What up, everybody? You know what? I usually don't make it a point to talk about politics, but after that latest State of the Union thing and everything, because, yeah, I actually do keep up with politics and pay attention to what's going on and do the proper research and everything. That's the reason why when somebody ends up vilifying me over what I say regarding anything related to politics, which is usually just the left that tries to vilify me, that's the reason why I end up going at them the way I do or pointing out how sick in the head they truly are. Like, for real, I'm just going to be honest on that. It's like, basically, the left is a lot like Arthur Woodson. When it comes to where they try to bring up their point or whatever to try to defend all their nonsense, basically all they do is contradict themselves or they just showcase just how desperate and pathetic they really are. Because the things they try to, the kind of comparisons they make are very weak. And it makes, because it's like I said, it's like how Arthur does. You know, he wants to sit there and say that, oh, people who dox are so terrible. Meanwhile, he has no problem with people who are pedophiles or rapists. You know, he's actually defended those kind of people. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got the mindset of one of these left-wing, libtarded, Democrats when it's all said and done. Fun fact, the first four letters in Democrat is the same first four letters you're going to find in the word demon. Just something worth noting. So, yeah. Because I've seen the things that these liberals, these left-wing libtards, are literally supporting when it came to that State of the Union thing. They have no problem supporting putting these illegal immigrants before the American people. They'll even put the murderous, illegal immigrants, before the American people. Oh, yeah, literally a report of one of these legal immigrants or whatever getting on a freaking train and killing somebody. There's even another report of that same, murderous illegal immigrant going into someone's house and stabbing a woman, like I think they said 27 times, something like that. Yeah, they found her dead and everything. You know what these Democrats do? They try to free him. They try to bail him out and everything. These Democrats, they don't care about the future generations. They're just thinking of the here and now. Because they're using these illegal immigrants the same way they did with the black community. It's all about votes. They don't give two shits about illegal immigrants. They don't give two shits about the black community. It's all about getting votes. And only the complete and total short bus retards are going to fall for that nonsense. Let's just keep it real. Then you have, and this is the reason why when I got vilified several years ago for, simply not supporting abortion, I couldn't help but call the individual out who was vilifying me, for that. Yeah, because it was stupid how she was trying to vilify me for that. Or how her buddies were trying to vilify me for that. Here's the thing. Abortion is murder. I don't care how anybody tries to spin it. There are actually movies based on inspirational true events of a woman who literally raised a baby that she had because some piece of shit raped her. But she still raised him. And that baby didn't turn out to be bad. Like I said, you don't punish the kid because their dad was a piece of shit. That's just stupid. And the whole deal, well, what, they have a bunch of mental issues and things like that, blah, 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 right? I literally have a cousin who, his parents were literally alcoholics and druggies and everything else. And, yeah, they said because of all the mental issues he was going to be born with and everything, that he probably wouldn't even live to be no more than 6 or 10 years old. Guess how old he is now? I think he actually might be the same age as me, and I'm 40 years old. Yeah. He's either somewhere in his late 30s or early 40s. And he's just a normal, functional adult. So, yeah. So again, all these excuses that the libtards try to come up with are just lame-ass excuses to justify their evil. That's all it is when it's all said and done. And yes, they really are pushing for full-term abortion. This whole abortion pill now? How, oh, well, it used to be just if you're only a few months along. There's even some of them trying to push for, like, if you're just 6 months along. And now there's even people trying to push it where you can still even take it when you're full term. Like, at this point, It's no different from like taking the kid out, aiming a gun at its head and shooting it, as soon as it's alive outside the womb. It's basically like how Pharaoh was throwing all the firstborn into the river to feed to all the gators back in the, biblical times and whatnot. I know I'm going to sound like Arthur here, but my goodness, there was a lot of evil shit that took place back then that, quite frankly, is repeating itself nowadays. Modern day Democrats are literally in the same boat. They are just as bad, just as fucked up in the head and everything else as what all those people were back in the day that literally chose Barabbas, a murderer, over Jesus who did nothing wrong. Yeah. That's literally how these left-wing libtards are and everything. And then people wonder why I don't support the left. Not too hard to see. Now, you can sit there and say, oh, well, there's some bad on both sides. Yes, that may be true. But at the end of the day, at this point, Republicans have, and quite frankly always have been, the less of the two evils. So, yeah. Y'all take care. God bless. Peace, and fuck the left.